I'm probably going to piss off a lot of people in this video. This is my early predictions for the Premier League 2023 to 2024. Let's get into it. Starting off at 20th, we have Sheffield United. Off the top of my head, Anel Ahmed Djordjevic. Sheffield fans, if you know how to say his name, put it down below. He's someone who I know, but apart from that, there's not many players who I feel like their squad right now will keep them in the Premier League. Ender Stevens, not really that good. We had Brewster, obviously not the right player that Sheffield thought he was, but Sheffield United 20th. What a story it was for Luton, but unfortunately, I'm going to put it 9. It's amazing how they got here, but I think the Premier League is going to be a bit too much for them. If they don't finish 19th where I put them, they're probably going to set the lowest points a Premier League team has ever had, which was Derby. Rob Edwards, the manager, never really managed a full proper team in the Premier League. He's 1 month at Wolves, I'm pretty sure, 1 month at Watford in the Championship. Unless they buy someone, which obviously being in the Premier League, we'll see. Let's get to 18th. Right, the next team we have is Everton, and this is because I don't like Everton, Villa, the two teams that I kind of have a dislike to for no apparent reason. I don't like Brummies and I don't like Scousers. Then again, I don't like people. I don't like human interaction. Kind of like Villa a little bit more. To be fair, they're Scouse. Especially the way they treat our player now, Anthony Gordon. They can get a foot. They've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, injury prone. We'll be lucky if he sees about 10 games this season, never mind 10 goals. McNeil, meh. Townsend, getting the bin. Ruben Vinagre, getting the bin. Tali, Mikalenko. I thought he was quite good, but apparently some Everton fans, he's shit. Everton, I hope they get relegated. Every single one of these picks depends on the transfer window that they have, because I'm just going off the teams they have right now. Very hard to predict. I'm probably going to be doing another video from a week or two before the season starts or something like that. Make sure you subscribe for that. Hit a like button also on this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're trying to hit 1k by the end of the year. Next, we have Bournemouth, which, let's be honest, they have massively overperformed this season. Is he called Gary O'Neill? Yeah. Absolutely amazing job he's done this season. Obviously, they've been taken over by...
Awkward. You know what? No, not really. It's not awkward.
The boxing blowing on. Oh shit, my top jet. I don't know why I've done that, but Michael Jordan, that's one. They are quite wealthy. Dominic Solanke, which hasn't done too bad. Ryan Christie, meh. Lewis Cook, meh. Zabarnyi, class on football manager, so expect him to do good this season. He's probably going to go to like a higher club in the future. Obviously got Randolph still there, bloody hell. As of right now, Bournemouth don't have a team to stay up. Unless they sign a couple of decent players, they're probably going to be battling relegation again. Next, we have Burnley, which I cannot wait to see how they do. Burnley, their team doesn't look strong enough to me. It really doesn't. They are looking for a keeper right now. It is a massive step up from the Championship to the Premier League. Jay Rodriguez, meh. Jordan Bayer, I think he's been quite good for Burnley. Very good Championship players. I don't think I can name any of these players who are good enough for the Premier League. Another team that is massively overperformed is Fulham. I don't think they're going to do better than what they've done last season, so I'm going to go with a quite big drop off of 15th. I feel like players like João Palhinha will get that move away from Fulham. Then João Palhinha, obviously their best player. Andreas Pereira, I don't think he's done that much. Willian, Premier League experience not too bad, but he is 34, so 14th we have went with Wolves. Pretty much just another mess season for them. That injury to Raul Jimenez disrupted his career. Let's talk about the oil merchant Adama Traore. Could have went to Barcelona, didn't work out that well, came back, had a mess season last season. Ruben Neves could be getting that move. Matias Nunez had an absolutely great season. Nelson Semedo, not good. Wolves are going to be 14th. I've got Crystal Palace to finish 13th. Looking at their squad right now, Zaha, is it about time he leaves? I could see him going to a Dortmund. I feel like he would suit very well in the German league. You've got Michael Olise, Reading's young player of the year, like 2-3 seasons ago. Still got massive bag potential. 21 years old from France. I'm sure you know about him. Free kick against Man United. Woo! Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. We've got Everechi Eze. I'm not gonna lie, I was asleep for the England games. I'm not quite sure if he got his debut. If he did, congrats to Everechi Eze. He's deserved it, being a very good player for Crystal Palace. Chris Richards, someone who they signed from Bayern Munich. Didn't really have the impact that they would have thought of, maybe. Guaita, just that kind of a solid keeper, to be fair. So Roy Hodgson as manager. Can't lie, I can see him getting sacked before January. Let's see what happens. 12th, we've got Forest. Probably not the season they would have wanted last season. This season, they could be quite good. Obviously, a massive team, massive history. They signed a lot of players. We got Morgan Gibbs-White, who spent 40 million on Morgan Gibbs-White. Why would you spend 40 million? Spend no more than about 20 million on Morgan Gibbs-White. Jesse Lingard didn't really play that much. Keylor Navas, he made a considerable difference. And a load Cody also wanting to go back to Brazil, I think I've heard. We've got Awonyi, who I think done pretty good, a lot better than what I thought. The first time I saw Awonyi, it was a training photo for Liverpool. He looked massively, he looked like, you know that lad from Deadpool, the Colossus. He had a pretty decent season, and 12th this season, it's a big improvement, obviously pushing for that top 10. 11th, I've only got this team here because of one reason, Brentford, and I think you know what it is. Ivan Toney, what a miss that is. And it's going to be very hard to replace a player that is pretty much guaranteed to get you over 15 goals per season. It is very difficult. Off the top of my head, the only person who I can compare him to that's English is Harry Kane, Callum Wilson, who I was talking English wise, who would probably fit the Brentford way. David Raya leaving to go to Tottenham is massive, him being a quite big factor in Brentford being where they were. They have bought Kevin Shade. Don't expect to do that much. It's his first season in the Premier League. He's probably just going to be that Ivan Toney replacement. Thomas Frank, absolutely amazing manager. I think if it was any other team that he was managing that he didn't have that solid connection with the fans, the whole club, Thomas Frank would have been at that Chelsea job maybe. Next we have West Ham, which didn't do that good this season. We'll call on David Moyes to be sacked and let David Moyes do his thing, and they won their first trophy, I think, in quite a long time. Danny Dyer, but he said that he starts a chance about his son shagging his daughter, but he thinks it's romantic, so it's fine. That whole West Ham team shouldn't have been battling relegation, but a lot of them players hadn't even played in Europe, I don't think, before. Yeah, Mikel Antonio didn't do as well prior to the end of the season. Danny Ings, happy with Danny Ings, man. He was so good for Southampton. Thomas Souček in his first season done very good. Fornals, meh. Souček had 2 very good first seasons, but then the kind of been brought back down to average. Bonner, 35, probably going to be out the door soon. And pretty good season for them, considering they would be in the Europa League. Next, we have Brighton. What a job De Zerbi has done. The first bit of the objectives were set out by Graham Potter, and De Zerbi finished it off. A lot more intensity as well. Got Tariq Lamptey off the top of my head that I think of, which he was so good before his injury. They've signed Dahoud from Dortmund, very solid signing. The likes of Bernate, who had his debut season this season, looks like a decent player. This team should not be in Europe. Just weren't getting them precious points. You've got players who were like McAllister, who was absolutely amazing. Matoma, absolutely amazing. Moises Caicedo, absolutely amazing. It's just a very solid team, isn't it? Like, if you compare their team with West Ham, they're probably on par. Brighton could probably get higher than this. I hope they get higher, because I do really like Brighton. I love the way that they play. I love the majority of their players as well. And in 8th, we've got Villa. Unai Emery. What a job he has done. From being, was it 18th or 19th in the Premier League, getting into Europe in the exact same season. What a job. Right, so Villa have Martinez, amazing keeper, very shithouse player as well. Ollie Watkins, absolutely magnificent after the World Cup, scoring a lot of goals. Diego Carlos being hit with injuries, that's why he hasn't been as good as what people thought he would have been. Tyrone Mings actually had a bit of a rebirth. Douglas Luiz. Love Douglas Luiz. Bertrand Traore, meh. Liam Bailey, meh. The majority of Villa's team has never played in Europe. I feel like that will take a toll on the Villa players. The season's already mad as it is. This year making it even worse. Considering you've got Premier League, Carabao Cup, Europa League, FA Cup. And now the top 7, we have Tottenham finishing 7th. This is all depending on whether they keep Harry Kane. We've got Jack Tanganga, not good enough. Oliver Skip, shite. Højbjerg, meh. Emerson Royale, meh. Perisic has not been that good. Charlison. Right, to take the piss out of Callum Wilson. Heung-min Son, amazing player. And is the managerial effect of coming from the Scottish League to the Premier League going to have the exact same impact on the player / manager? They probably will finish 7th if they lose Harry Kane and they don't find an ideal replacement. Newcastle finishing 6th. A lot of Newcastle fans do think we're top 4. I don't feel like we're going to do as good as what we have this season. Obviously because of Europe, Champions League football. St James's Park is going to look lovely. Majority of our players have never played in Europe. We've got Bruno, who's played in Europe. Trippier, yeah, but we need to sign a lot of players. If we get some squad depth, I'm just going off the team right now. The team right now, we're in top 4 with teams like Tottenham having a bad season, Liverpool having a bad season, Chelsea having a bad season. That's 3 teams right there who had a bad season, which we are normally below. I just feel like with them 3 teams, put them at the top of their game. I don't think the team that we currently have beats them unless we sign some players, which we are linked to a player called Dominic Chazoblai. He's a very creative player. James Maddison, Tottenham linked with him. If he wants trophies, he's probably going to go to Newcastle. Nico Barella. How are Newcastle linked with Nico Barella? 50 million. Newcastle, if you get Nico Barella done, I don't know what I'll do. Leave comments down below, and if we send Nico Bella, I'll do some sort of forfeit, whatever. Dan Burn, I love him. He's probably going to be like a hero on this channel at some point. Hopefully I'll try and get him in a video. I think a lot of fans should be happy that we're getting Europe. The Champions League are absolutely amazing. We're still in Europe, which I will take, considering that way you're going to be playing a lot of games next season. 5th, we've got Chelsea. I feel like they're going to have a lot better season than what they had last season. I feel the likes of Mudryk would thrive under him. Yeah, the likes of Lewis Hall. From this season, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen with Chelsea. A lot of players have just been fucking shit. Let's see if Lukaku comes back and hits the form that he was hitting at Inter. Not in the Champions League, but at Inter. Mauricio Pochettino, still a world-class manager. I'm sure he's going to get a lot of them players up to scratch. 4th, we've got Liverpool. I don't think they're going to be in a title race next season. They could be, but McAllister, absolutely amazing signing. Thiago, and the way that Thiago hits the ball is just amazing. And then top 4 for Liverpool, I reckon since they got Europa League next season, they should at least be aiming for Champions League next season. Van Dijk, not the same player he was. Salah, yes, he's good, but I think we're approaching the end of Salah's whole thing with Liverpool. Maybe he wants to make that move to Real Madrid, play for the biggest clubs. Trent, not like a rebirth. We always knew Trent had that talent. It was just his defending. The whole of social media just jumped onto him and made him believe it as well. And as soon as the player gets past Trent, he's shit. It's got to his head. I see a lot of times where he's been a pretty good defender. You've got Darwin Núñez, who's quite exciting to watch. He's a bit like, I couldn't even compare Darwin Núñez to anybody. Darwin Núñez is just different. He's getting the credit that he deserves. You never know what Darwin Núñez is about to do. He's a great player. Gakpo as well, amazing in the World Cup. Right wing Salah, left wing Gakpo, and Darwin Núñez up front. If we can just find that scoring form, that would be great. 86.1% of yous were not subscribed in the last video. Why? Just subscribe, it's down below, please. Right. 3rd, we've got Arsenal. They're bottle jobs. I don't care whatever you say, they're bottle jobs. There's just so many games in part of the season where they should have picked up points and they didn't. They knew Man City after December every single season. They go through a rampage, a fucking rampage, and they kick fuck out of everybody. Give us a little guess. Who's second? What team have I missed out? Well, I'm talking about Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus been alright. Martinelli been alright. I'm saying they've been alright. They've been pretty good. Ketia deserves a lot of credit. He really needs to go to a different team in the Prem to actually make something out of his career. I can't just stay as Arsenal's number 2 backup striker for ages. Odegaard, fantastic player. But the same Declan Rice as well, that's going to help their midfield massively. Some people don't rate Declan Rice. I rate Declan Rice. He would improve that Arsenal team so much. Take Partey out, put Declan Rice in, sorted. Jorginho was brought in to help Arsenal win the league and they end up still bottling it. If Newcastle got Jorginho, that would be amazing. Second, if you didn't already guess, Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag is cooking up a storm, and even though they beat us in the Carabao Cup, I really do like what he's building there. If they can sign Harry Kane, they're battling for you top 2. Harry Maguire, you've got David De Gea, who is not the best. Their midfield, pretty good. You've got Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, hopefully he gets another chance this season. Bruno Fernandes, amazing player. Garnacho, meh. We've got a very good team, and if they sign Harry Kane, they're battling for the champion. And first, we have my granddad's team, which I didn't shed a tear, but I was happy for my granddad. Man City won the treble, and if they could potentially get the quadruple next season, you couldn't really name one bad part of that Man City team, could you? You really couldn't. In the likes of Kovacic from Chelsea, who I think he's an amazing player. You all want the Premier League to have the best quality football, which you've seen the likes of, who finished bottom of season, Southampton. They stopped Man City from getting the quadruple. That shows how competitive England's getting. There you've got Edison, you've got Ortega, who looked quite solid whenever he came in. You've got John Stones. Oh shit, they fucked the chair. And you've got John Stones, which pretty much he plays CDM at centre back and right back at the same time. Gundogan, you've got De Bruyne, you've got Bernardo Silva, you've got Haaland. Can he improve from this season? Definitely. I saw a stat that was it 2012 Messi got 70 goals in a year. Haaland got 58 this season. Shows that there is room for improvement, but Haaland has done it in the greatest league in the world. If Gundogan leaves, I feel like will it be hard to replace him? Gundogan is very underrated. Ake, what a season he's had as well. If you don't put Man City to win the league, you've got big massive balls. I'll say that, you've got big massive balls. If you do like this video, please make sure to subscribe and like it, which helps more people see my beautiful face. I hit 1k by the end of the year, so I'll see you later. Have a very good day. If you want to see more stuff like this, like football in real life stuff, apart from FIFA, see you for the next video. Bye bye.